guys, it's Di, and I am filming in a little bit of a different place today, and this is going to be kind of a different video for my channel. But one of my New Year's resolutions is going to be getting different areas in my house as organized as possible. We just moved into this house a year ago, and a lot of the items were just kind of thrown into cabinets and were just kind of placed places as quickly as possible. So I'd like to go through at the beginning of this year and just start editing out different areas and get everything shaped up. So today my project is going to be the spice rack area. This is the area right next to my stove, and I prefer to keep all of my spices in my cabinet. I have seen a number of interesting organizing solutions for spices, everything from being on the counter, on those turning racks on the inside of the cabinet, and then also even in drawers sometimes. But for myself, I just prefer having them in the cabinet and taking them out one at a time and then putting them back. Unfortunately, my current situation is not that organized. Right now, it's kind of a jumbled mess of everything being stowed away in there. Everything is in its original container, and sometimes things that aren't even supposed to be in this cabinet randomly end up in there like peanut butter. And when you're looking for something, you cannot find it quickly. Everything is just really, honestly, a jumbled mess in this cabinet. It drives me nuts. So I knew that we had to get something done differently at this house, so I decided to find a spice rack at the Container Store, and this is the one that I settled on. It's by Polder Home Tools, and it's 18-jar compact spice rack. I did make sure that it would fit on the shelf and the spices lay sideways. I really like the aesthetic look of this with the circle tops, and then also that they were facing the outside of the cabinet, and I like that I'm still going to be able to keep all of my spices up here. They're just going to be more of a vertical situation as opposed to all of them being horizontal and myself losing a lot of the space up here. So I'm going to be using these containers, and I actually found right in the same section at the Container Store they have these clear labels, and these labels have a number of different spices on there. There's actually 60 spice labels, 20 pantry labels, 12 shop and home labels, and 8 blank labels. So I thought that this would be great for me not to only use these labels for this project, but possibly to use some of these other labels for other things. These were only $3.99, so I thought that they were a great deal, already printed off and already in a circle shape, which is what I really liked about these. So these are going to be in a circle shape and going to fit right on the end of these spice containers. Next, I'm just going to wipe out the cabinet. And it's not really that bad because, like I said, we've only been at this house for a year, so it hasn't really, had very much time for anything to collect. I think maybe. So this is all that the little spice rack looks like. It's just a basic chrome rack, and then you take the canisters and you just set them on there, and they have just a little bit of a tilt to them. All of these canisters are just clear glass, and they do have a little shaker already on them. So I'm going to go ahead and start transferring the spices over, and what I really like about this is that it would easily fit into probably any house that we move into in the future. I think I've talked a little bit about this on my other channel, but we do move quite often, and in fact this location that we're at currently, we don't know how long we're going to be here, so I always have to keep in mind right now while we're in this stage where we have to move fairly frequently, solutions that will kind of travel with us and probably work at a different house. So I do really like this because this is something that I can use at this house, but then also if we end up moving anytime in the future, it's something that I can easily take with me, and it should work in any other cabinet. This is a pretty standard shelf size, so it should work in any other cabinet at a house that we live at. So I'm about halfway through, and I'm really liking how it's looking. I do think that I'm going to go get one of those turntables for this side to just keep the miscellaneous things like sprinkles and that sort of thing, where I can easily get at those. I wanted to see how much room I was going to have left over, but there's really a great amount of room with this in there and those to the side. These items up here, I have these plastic containers from Bed Bath & Beyond, and I actually have a few things out on my counter, so I'm going to refill those as much as possible and then see how many of these containers I need to get additionally to put up here in the cabinet. And then this project should be pretty well done. Only thing I need additionally is the turntable and those, but I'm really liking how this spice cabinet looks. The only real downside I would say is these are glass, and I really wanted ones that were plastic. This particular spice rack, the one that had the spices laying on the side, the only version you could get was with glass bottles. I have already broken one of them, and so I'm really hoping it was just an instance where I cracked the top when I was trying to flip the lid off, and now that I know how to use it, that's not a problem. I am slightly apprehensive about having glass containers in case it was to get dropped or whatever while I was cooking. So we'll see how that aspect goes, and eventually I may actually even replace these containers for something that might work a little bit better for me. But I do really love how this rack functions, where I can see all the labels on the ends and everything's in there sideways, so I'm using the whole vertical space in the cabinet. I do really like that aspect of it. So this is the finished cabinet, and I have fit everything back in there where I want it, and I do still have some components that I'd like to get. I want to get the turning bamboo rack for over here so that all these items are easily accessible, and I do really like how all of these are straight up and down, and how I can still fit a few things over here to the side. There is a little bit of wasted space here to the front, and I know that that can be used on a counter, but right now I would like to just kind of keep things like that off of my counter space, but I do like that it could be used on a counter later on if I wanted to. And then for up here, I'm going to go get those containers either from the Container Store or Bed Bath & Beyond to sort these into their individual containers, and hopefully this will be a lot more useful. So at least I am not going to have to dig behind different spices to find the spices. That was the big problem I was running into over Christmas, as I would be trying to find my hot blend spice or my nutmeg, and I was just digging around trying to find things, pretty much how this area is over here right now, trying to find things back behind, and it was just not easy to find things. So I do really like how all of these are labeled on the front and easily presentable, so I'll be able to find those very easily. Then I think I want to have a turning rack over here on this side. Things will be easily accessible over here as well, and it will be good to go. So thanks for watching my first Project Organize video, and I'm just going to be doing these randomly throughout the year to kind of go along with my New Year's resolution of getting a little bit more organized around here. So I may show projects that are kind of continually in process, I may show like a before and after type of thing, and I'll be doing a little bit of everything. I have a few places in my kitchen I want to reorganize, some closets upstairs I want to reorganize, and then also just little places here and there that I'd like to touch up, like diaper tables and that sort of thing. So let me know if you have any specific areas you'd like to see around the house to get reorganized first. I kind of have a little bit of variety of everything that I want to edit this year, just because I, feel like there's a lot of room for more organization in our house. Other than our playroom, I'm very, very happy with our playroom right now. There's a lot of different areas I'd like to continually keep working on, and I think that I can definitely be a lot more organized in more areas in 2013. So let me know if you guys have any questions or comments down below, or suggestions, because I would love to hear suggestions. And thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.